we actually taped a video where I read the resolution, so I'm not going to read it in person. Taylor, if you could cue the video, please.
To you, Barbara, and to certainly give you this great honor as you've been my county attorney for my entire term on the Board of Supervisors. So let me start by reading the proclamation. Whereas Pima County Attorney Barbara LaWall has been a leader for a quarter of a century in addressing crimes against children, and whereas Ms. LaWall has been a visionary in dramatically improving the criminal justice system's response to vulnerable child victims of crime, including those who have suffered physical and sexual abuse, and whereas Ms. LaWall, working with a team of governmental and community-based agency leaders, determined the best way to help victims of child neglect, abuse, and sexual assault would be to establish a facility dedicated to serving these child victims, as well as a protocol for child abuse investigations that was approved by mental health providers and the Pima County Attorney's Office, the Pima County Sheriff's Department, the Tucson Police Department, and the Department of Child Safety and other police departments. And whereas facilitated by Ms. LaWall's leadership, the agency, now known as the Children's Advocacy Center for Southern Arizona, was established at first in 1996 as part of the Pima County protocols for the multidisciplinary investigation of child abuse in a couple of rooms at Keno Hospital, and later moved to a tiny space with a few rooms in a location on Broadway Boulevard. And whereas by collaborating with the Pima County Administrator and the Pima County Board of Supervisors, Ms. LaWall secured bond funding for the Pima County to build the Children's Advocacy Center and was recognized as a founder of the facility when it was dedicated and opened in October of 2008. And whereas the Executive Director of the Children's Advocacy Center of Southern Arizona recommended to its Board of Directors that the center be named for Pima County Attorney Barbara LaWall in honor of her coming retirement, and the Board of Supervisors voted to adopt the recommendation. And whereas Ms. Barbara LaWall has consistently been collaborator, supporter, and advocate of the work of the Children's Advocacy Center of Southern Arizona throughout her tenure as Pima County Attorney, now therefore be it resolved that in recognition of her instrumental role in starting and sustaining the Children's Advocacy Center of Southern Arizona, the building housing the center's location at 2329 East Ajo Way, Tucson, Arizona, at 85713, be named the Barbara LaWall Children's Advocacy Center after Pima County Attorney Barbara LaWall, and that the county administrator and staff are authorized and directed to do all acts necessary to implement this protocol, including installing appropriate signage on the building, passed and adopted this 20th day of October, 2020. And Barbara, on behalf of a grateful community, a grateful Board of Supervisors, thank you so much for your years of leadership and service, and it's a much deserved honor.
Thank you.
Agreed. I just wanted to say that dream starting in 1996 that Barbara had of having a safe place for children who are victims or witnesses has grown now to where we're serving over 1,000 children and their families every year. It started in that borrowed space, those humble beginnings, but it was a dream, and it had the support of the Board of Supervisors and the community, and of course Barbara LaWall, and we're incredibly grateful for that. It's a privilege to work with your team to find justice for these vulnerable victims in a way that ensures fairness for the accused. We are so proud to hold a piece of the history of Pima County by having our building named after you. And we're grateful to the Board of Supervisors for helping us give this honor, and we're excited that this building, a building that wouldn't exist without you, a building that represents safety and compassion and healing for the community, will have this great new name. Congratulations to you, Barbara.
Thank you, Marie. And, thank you, Chairman Valadez. Thank you, Marie. I am deeply, deeply touched and very, very honored by this. First, I need to give a very quick shout out to my predecessor, Steve Neely. It was his vision that I fortunately was tasked to implement. He was the one who first said, we need a place like this. And that was as he was, winding down his career as county attorney. So I'm very, very fortunate that I also had the help of many, many professionals across many agencies that Chairman Valadez named. These people all came together and we worked really hard for a very long time, creating the idea, the protocols, the way in which it happened. And I'm very grateful to Pima County for first donating that space at Keno Hospital, which was really the start of everything. And it just wasn't the most friendly place to bring children who've been abused and battered. And we realized very quickly that we really needed our own building and we needed it to be child friendly and a safe place for treatment and for healing. And so we worked together and we created it. So it is the vision and the result of many, many people across many disciplines working together. But I want to thank you, Marie, for continuing and coming on board, because your dedication and your passion for the children has been absolutely outstanding. I need to thank some of my staff that helped make all of this possible. The Children's Advocacy Center, as well as the naming of it. I need to give a shout out to Isabel Smutzer and Pat Weedoff and former staffer Fran McNeely. They've come together and it's their commitment to the children and to public safety that has helped make all of this work. And I'm especially grateful to my absolutely amazing Chief Deputy, Amelia Kramer. She supports me unconditionally, and it was her tireless work behind the scenes and very honestly behind my back too, that made this happen. And so she made it possible for me to receive this honor, and I want to thank her from the bottom of my heart. I've been a public prosecutor now for 44 years. It doesn't seem possible that that much time has passed, but I know that I have, during that time, had the best possible job in the whole world, because every day the work that I get to do is very meaningful and very, very special. Every day I get to come to work, and I get to work on behalf of victims in Pima County, and particularly on behalf of our most vulnerable, which are the children. So for those 44 years, every day I've gotten to have the privilege of making a living and making a difference. And I want to say that I've been personally impacted and changed by the thousands, and literally thousands of victims that I've met and I've served, and especially the children. I prosecuted these crimes for quite a number of years before moving into administrative positions, and I've been very, very touched by most of the stories that I have heard from these children that are deeply painful and very, very hurtful. I'm really humbled and touched by this honor. It's so wonderful to know that my name is going to be attached to a building that is going to provide so much safety and healing for all the children whose lives have really been unalterably shattered by their victimization. And I feel really privileged that my name is going to be attached to a place that so thoughtfully cares for all of these little tiny babies and children who have been molested and sexually abused and physically beaten and battered. So my heart And my thanks go out to all of the child victims of crime for the inspiration and for the strength that they provide on a daily basis by allowing me to hear their stories, for sharing all of their personal pain and their heartache. And they have taught me how to have an open heart, and they've changed my life. And for that, I'm eternally grateful. And I'm really grateful to you, Chairman Valadez, for your promotion and your sponsorship of this incredible honor. I am very grateful to the members of the Board of Supervisors, to the members of the Board of Supervisors, Board of the Children's Advocacy Center. They're not the Board of Supervisors, but thank you for bringing this before them, Marie, and thank you for your efforts. And I want to thank the County Administrator for his tremendous support and for helping for this prestigious honor. Thank you all very, very much.
Thank you so much, Barbara, and a very well-deserved honor.
Thank you.
Does any member of the board have any comments? All right, hearing none, I'm going to ask Mr. Flagg and Ms. Miller, please come up. And I believe we have Chief Walton. If you'd like from there, just go ahead and turn on the mic. And I believe you have comments on behalf of your department as well. Come on up. Chief?
I think this is working. First of all, Barbara, on behalf of Sheriff Napier and all the men and women of the Sheriff's Department, we want to thank you for your years of service. Your leadership and your partnership with the men and women of the Pima County Sheriff's Department has set the hallmark for professionalism and commitment to your community. It's been an awesome relationship. You've set the standard as it relates to innovative programs. You set the standard of leadership and tough prosecutions, while still being compassionate and thoughtful for the outcomes. We've enjoyed a tremendous working relationship, and we wish you all the luck. Thank you so much for what you've done for law enforcement and the criminal justice system in Pima County.
All right, Mr. Flagg, Ms. Miller, if you could please come up, accept the proclamation on behalf of the county attorney, and I believe you both have some words.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and the board. I want to thank all of you for this honor that you've bestowed on Barbara LaWall today. I have had the pleasure of working with Ms. LaWall for her entire 24 years that she's been county attorney, and even before that, when she worked as the chief deputy. She is not only a true leader, but someone who leads by example. She has been a mentor and a friend and a teacher for so many of us in the office who've served as deputy county attorneys, even those who've now left the office. The Children's Advocacy Center is so integral in everything that we do. I'm the bureau chief for the Special Victims Unit in our office. The number of children that come through there who have suffered so much abuse, emotionally, physically, sexually, to have a safe place like the Children's Advocacy Center to go to and tell their story and feel safe and know that they're going to be protected going forward is such an important part of what we do. Barbara's vision for this, and I know she gave credit to Steve Neely, but watching Barbara work over her many years as a prosecutor and a county attorney has been nothing short of awe-inspiring. She truly cares about our children, about our victims in this community, and it is an absolute privilege to work with her. We're going to miss her so much when she goes. Thank you so much, and thank you, Barbara, for everything that you've given to us.
Thank you, Ms. Miller. Mr. Flagg?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I can't think of a more fitting tribute to County Attorney Barbara LaWall, and for all the reasons that Tracy and others have already spoken. This is really a wonderful tribute to her. I just want to add my thanks to you, Mr. Chairman, to the members of the board, to the County Administrator, to Chief Deputy County Administrator Jan Lesher for helping, and to the Clerk's Office as well for helping ensure that this proclamation was prepared and presented, and also to your staff for putting together the remote presentation and the really nice video. So I'm thrilled that County Attorney Barbara LaWall is being honored in this way. Thank you very much.
Thank you both. And the proclamation is right there in front of you. Please take them both. All right, having no further business before us, this meeting stands adjourned.